So there are 4 ways that David Risher believes that integrating taxis into the Lyft platform will help. Again, it's always about the consumer, the customer, the rider, the passenger. Driver is always left out of the equation. But, you know, when you speak to taxi drivers, I've interviewed many, actually worldwide, I've actually interviewed different taxi drivers. What do they think? They take pride, as they should, you know, that they're taxi drivers. They think that Rideshare, Uber and Lyft, once upon a time, years ago, tried to bully them out, tried to push them out the market, tried to destroy the business, did not succeed. And now they want to get into bed with the taxi business. So taxi drivers are a little bit wary, apprehensive. They are not entirely happy about this. It all boils down to the pay. I mean, are the companies going to treat the taxi drivers as shit as they are treating the rideshare drivers when it comes to, you know, paying them properly? But again, the conversation always seems to be about the riders. 4 ways Lyft's taxi integration could improve ride-sharing customer experience. Lyft's addition of taxis to its US fleet continues this rider-centric focus. Here are some ways it could give customers a better experience. And I also make a separate video because Uber just announced that it wants to integrate taxis in Europe. They've already done that in the United States. Now they are heading to Europe. They want to build out the markets. They want to set themselves apart from Lyft. So small town service, while Lyft and Ubers can easily be hailed in large cities, that's not necessarily the case in small towns that may still rely on taxis. The new collaboration could be a boon for them. Shorter wait times. Adding taxis to Lyft means more drivers and vehicles, which should help customers find faster rides, especially during busy time periods. Putting more drivers on the platform, I don't know how taxi drivers feel about this. I don't know how rideshare drivers feel about this. I don't think that rideshare drivers are going to be too happy about this addition. Differentiation from Uber. Uber is widely considered one of the world's most innovative companies because it disrupted the taxi industry by identifying practically every consumer and driver pain point, which I wrote about in Forbes 2018. I should actually make a video on that article. Yet 3 years after Uber's launch, Lyft essentially copied it. Today, if you get in a car at the airport, it's almost impossible to tell whether it's an Uber or a Lyft, and many drivers work for both. By adding taxis to its fleet, Lyft could disrupt this now essentially undifferentiated industry and challenge Uber by continuing to amp up customer experience. Nothing to lose. Despite its highly innovative history, Uber often falls short on customer experience today, as does Lyft. Just recently, a friend of mine was somehow locked out of both her Uber and Lyft accounts when she really needed a ride. I tried getting the attention of both companies, and it took weeks to resolve the issue with just one of them. More publicly, the Federal Trade Commission recently sued Uber, alleging that its Uber One subscription service had charged customers without their consent. On the other hand, if you call a Lyft, you don't expect to see a yellow cab, nor are you necessarily hoping for one. So depending on how clearly Lyft communicates the taxi option to riders, it could cause confusion. I think it will cause confusion. Yet the taxi addition appears to be a smart move that will only help customer experience, with the broadest benefit being basic economics. It increases competition with Uber, and competition is usually good for consumers. So an ironic twist, the very industry once disrupted by rideshare apps may now be its unexpected savior. As riders, we just want a reliable, responsive and human-centered service. Emphasis on human-centered service. That's why I think these Waymos and that are, you know, just a fraction of the market, but growing. Let's hope this marks the start of a new era of ride-sharing customer experience that finally delivers on that promise. If you're a rider and passenger, please comment. If you're a driver, how do you feel about this? Please comment. Thank you.